So in today's session, we are going to see about the documentation part, no? The documentation part in supply chain functions. So you know very well whenever wherever there is a trade happening, wherever there is a like a transaction happening, a trade is happening, commodities are moved like from one place to another, from buyer to seller, or from like from the from seller to buyer, and then like when the buyer resells it to another person or a company, so there is always documents involved. So this could be the sales documents, the purchase documents, invoices, and the packing list. So various types of documents. It's involved in the each and every transaction. So let's see about the export documentation. So whenever a company or an individual decides to take their products outside their country, so whenever they want to do business outside their country, to sell their products or service outside their country, they have to follow an extensive documentation process. It's not easy just like moving products within the same country. So export documentation, it's an extensive process, and various documents has to be attached to get the customs clearance, because each and every product which goes out of the country or which comes into the country has to get customs clearance. Yeah. So let's move with the types of documents. So bill of lading, it's a transportation document. So it is prepared by the transportation department or a transportation agency. Now, if we say transportation, either the business themselves may have their own transportation, or they may hire a transportation company or an agency, because they don't have their own transportation. So they outsource that function, outsource the transportation activity, to an external party, to an external transportation agency. So in both the cases, both the cases, if the transportation is done by the company's own transportation department, or if it is done by an external party as a a second party logistic provider, so bill of lading is issued by the transporter, whoever is taking the responsibility of transporting the goods, transporting the consignment. So it's an absolute must and one of the first export document required in India. It is responsible for export ground cargo and denotes a contract between the shipper and the carrier. The gist of this document specifies that the carrier, so who is the carrier? The transporter, whoever transports the product. The carrier has acknowledged that the goods are received and in proper condition to be shipped. So when this document is created, it means the ownership of the goods is being transferred from the seller to the transporter. So once the seller of the goods has signed this document prepared by the transportation department, so it means the responsibility of the product is taken by the transportation unit. So it's issued by the carrier of the goods subsequently after the cost and freight agent submits the match report, match receipt. So it's again another document, we will discuss about it, match receipt, and it's check. Usually the main carrier issues the master BL. BL is bill of lading, and a house BL is issued by the freight forwarder. So if the freight forwarder is involved in the process, or if the company directly transports the product, so whatever the the activity is, so bill of lading is issued by the transportation department or by the transportation agency who takes care of carrying, that is transporting the goods. Commercial invoice and packing list. So this is the second document. First document, it's a pro forma invoice. As soon as a sale is confirmed, a trade is confirmed by the buyer and the seller. So buyer sells the product, seller sells the product, buyer agrees to buy the product on that particular price, okay? So agrees to buy the product. So there's a contract between the buyer and seller. They agree to a contract, they agree for a trade. So once that is confirmed, immediately, so the pro forma invoice is generated. So who generates this pro forma invoice is the seller of the product. So this invoice, it contains all the required details and information about the export. So the buyer will be able to view the products, delivery cost, payment terms, and other indispensable information at a glance. And this document is also needed if you require advance payment. Paperwork acts as an agreement between the exporter and the buyer. That is the seller. The exporter generates this document. So it has all the details about the products, the delivery, number of units to be delivered, the cost of the product, cost of the consignment, payment terms, how the payment has to be done, either partial payment or a full payment is required, whether it is by cash or check or in what form, and all other details from everything will be will be furnished on the pro forma invoice. So a copy of this pro forma invoice is sent to the buyer, that is the importer. So they will have an understanding of what products in which condition, in how many units, by which date it's going to be delivered to them. So this is the first and foremost document which is initiated, generated by the seller. Second document is the commercial invoice plus packing list. So once the buyer agrees the pro forma invoice and requests for a sale, so immediately the seller, the exporter, generates the packing list and commercial invoice. It has all the details again about the product, number of units, and price of price of each unit and cost of the total units, and plus where the product has been manufactured. Okay, so the complete address of the buyer and seller and everything. Now the packing list, the only difference between this commercial invoice and packing list is, in commercial invoice, the total cost of the consignment or the cost of the goods, price of the units to be sold, that will be mentioned. But in the packing list, you cannot find the price. Price will not be mentioned. There is a cost of the total, units to be sold, that will not be mentioned in the packing list. That's the only difference. Because packing list is for the internal purpose. Once the seller generates the packing list, it would be transformed, it would be given to the packing department. Whoever packs the required units to transport it to the seller. So it would be sent to the packing department. So this is for internal use of the company. So that's why cost will not be, price of the product or the goods will not be mentioned in the packing list. So commercial invoice and packing list, both are necessary documents required for export from India. Commercial invoice needs to be handed over to customs and is made after all your products are ready for export. So without a signature from costumes, your shipment cannot go forward. So sorry, that's not costumes, it's customs, sorry. If your cargo has more than one product, if your cargo has more than one product, it's compulsory to procure a packing list. In this list, you must mention all the items distinctly that will be exported. And you can submit both the documents merged into one if the packing list details are visible on your commercial invoice. And this unified document is called the commercial invoice cum packing list. So this is the second document. First document is the pro forma invoice, and the second document is the commercial invoice plus packing list. And both pro forma invoice and commercial invoice packing list, all three documents are generated by it is issued by the seller to the buyer. The third document is certificate of origin. This is the most important document needed along with pro forma invoice and with commercial invoice. Certificate of origin. That is not where the product has been manufactured, the manufacturing location, originally where it was manufactured. So certificate of origin, it acts much like the birth certificates of your goods and products. and is one of the necessary documents required for export from India. This document contains which country the goods originate from, made in India. So likewise, no. So where the goods originate from and the specific place they have been manufactured in. No, like all the information about the manufacturing place. No, manufactured in no like Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So the complete address of the manufacturer, the manufacturer's location, the plant location. No, so that would be in the certificate of origin. So keep in mind to produce a certificate of origin for each item in your shipment, each item. That is, if you are shipping different items in different packages, but it goes as a single consignment. But for each package, you have to attach a certificate of origin. This certificate is to be attached to the commercial invoice and is an affidavit. So these 4 documents, pro forma invoice, commercial invoice, packing list, and certificate of origin. All these 4 documents are mandatory for getting a customs clearance. So if any one of the document is missing, then the goods will be like in hold in the customs warehouse. So only if you like show the proper documents, especially these 4 documents, so then your product, then your goods get clear, customs clear. Okay, let's see about the other documents as well. Shipping bill or bill of export. So the third core document is issued by the ICE gate, which is the Indian Customs Electronic Gateway. Nowadays, there is no physical documentation happening. So mostly it is done through digitally, electronically. And ICE gate procures an electronic filing for bills. This bill falls under the umbrella of documents required for export from India and for customs and is needed to be given the green go for export. The shipping bill gives clearance to exporters from the customs. So this is generated by the customs official. But these 4 documents, pro forma invoice, commercial invoice, packing list, and certificate of origin. All these 4 documents is generated and issued by the seller, the exporter. So 1 copy stays with the seller, 1 copy goes to the buyer, 1 copy it goes along with the consignment for customs clearance. Okay. Then we have export order or purchase order. So this necessary document required for export comes in after the pro forma invoice is issued. So instead of export order or a purchase order, you can directly go with commercial invoice itself. The order is confirmed via the purchase order or the export order. Details all filled by the buyer. If it is an export order, it has to be generated, filled in by the buyer. And that includes cost, shipping details, type of currency, and any other specific goods information and requirements. So letter of credit. One more document is missing, which is bill of entry. So when I'm sending you this PPT material, I'll make sure I'm including the 7th document as well. So that's the bill of entry. So bill of entry is generated by the customs department. So once a product has been transported to the nearest port and the goods are transferred to the customs warehouse, the customs officials generate a document which is called bill of entry. They sign the document and give the copy to the transporter. That is whoever has handed over the product. So they get a copy of the bill of entry. Now the ownership of the product, the responsibility of the product, so that gets transformed from the transporter to the customs officials. So initially when it was in the seller's place, the responsibility was in the seller's hands. So once it was handed over to the transportation team, the responsibility of the goods was transferred to the transportation department. And once these transporters has transferred the goods to the customs area in a port, seaport or airport or land port, once they have transferred the goods, so now the responsibility of the consignment, that's the goods, it is now transferred to the customs people, customs officials. So for acknowledging that they have received the products and the goods are in their control, they issue bill of entry. So then is the letter of credit. So this document, no, like mostly it works out in the export, activity, because mostly in exports, no, the buyer pays for the consignment through bank, because no, like each and every time, if it is an individual buyer, no, like importing a single item, no, like, or a unit item, that is no, like in few items, say 5, 6 or 7 or 8, maximum 10, so then no, like the buyer doesn't have to go for no taking a loan from the bank. But if the consignment cost of the consignment is more, no, like more than no, like say 10 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 20 lakhs, so or in crores, in that case, so any importer, that is a buyer, will go for uh, go for the agreement, no, by the through the bank, through the buyer's bank. So letter of credit is something, no, like where the buyer accepts to buy the consignment, accepts to buy the goods from the seller at a given cost, provided he asks or she asks his or her bank to make the payment on behalf of the buyer. Okay. So what this bank does is, for example, a buyer in Kochi wants to wants to buy dates from say Gulf. Okay. So any place in Gulf. Take Dubai. Okay, so from Dubai, Dubai is where the seller is, and no, he or she is ready to export dates, no, to India. So the buyer is in India. So the consignment is little big, and no, like it costs in lakhs. So what this buyer in Kochi, no, like does is, so informs his bank, no, in Kochi, say SBI Bank in Kochi. So the buyer informs the bank in Kochi that he wants to do a trade with the buyer in Dubai, and so he is requesting for letter of credit. So bank sees all the buyer's transactions, no, how well he has maintained the transaction in his current account, business account, and make sure the buyer is a reliable person. So once after the confirmation, the bank um, gives the letter of credit, no, like issues a letter of credit to the seller's bank, not directly to the seller, but to the seller's bank. So this bank, that is the seller's bank, what it does is it reviews all the documents and everything and informs the seller to go on with the trade, because everything no like is made sure no everything is reliable, that is the buyer's account details, the buyer's transactions, the buyer is a reliable person to trade with. So everything is confirmed by the buyer's bank, and buyer's bank informs this to the seller's bank, and seller's bank informs this to the seller, and no ask him to or her to go with the trade, go on with the trade, and no issue the goods, transport the goods to the buyer. So once the goods has been transported, what this buyer has to do is he has to repay to his bank, right? Because his bank has no like made the the payment on behalf of the buyer. So what this person does is he has to make sure he is paying back the money whichever the bank has lended within maximum of 9 months. So this is called letter of credit. So letter of credit is a document which is issued by the buyer's bank. Okay, so buyer's bank, so after issuing a letter of credit, it issues directly to the seller's bank, not to the seller, but to the seller's bank. The seller's bank asks the seller to go on with the trade, and the buyer's bank pays to the seller's bank, not directly in the hands of buyer. So while this document isn't a part of the shipping process directly, it's still required and procured as a mandate. The buyer's bank generates and issues the letter of credit to commit the date of payment to the exporter if by chance the buyer delays it. So in either way, the bank can issue a letter of credit. Either they can pay on behalf of the buyer in advance, or what they can do is they can ask for a maximum of 9 months to the seller's bank. So within 9 months, the buyer has to make the payment either directly to his bank, if his bank has already made the payment, or in case if it is not, he has to pay to the seller. So it's a necessary document required while exporting to honor the purchase order of the buyer. Then inspection or quality check. So it depends on the type of products you're exporting. If the product, if the goods are if they are machinery or industrial equipments, so you need quality check, or inspection certificate. So before the shipment of the goods, an importer can demand to investigate the quality of your goods and check if the packing parameters are being adhered to. It's the exporter's job to keep the documents and certificates required if this comes up. So all these documents has to be made ready by the this exporter, that is the seller. So inspection certificate is required if the goods exported is of any industrial equipment, any kind of equipments, any kind of mechanical equipments, you need an inspection certificate. But if it is a food product, if it is a food product, you need to have a clearance certificate from Food Supply Corporation of India. You have to get a certificate from them. So they will analyze the contents in the goods. That is whatever in the consignment, they will analyze it. They will do a check on it and make sure that is not a adulterated food, or it doesn't have any harmful fertilizers or chemicals or nothing. So whatever the standards the importer country has cleared. Then is the phytosanitary and fumigation certificate. So this is required when you're transporting any plant related products, like producers of the plants. That is whether it's a leaf or the root or the stem or the seeds of a plant. So whatever, if it is a plant related product, you have to issue a phytosanitary certificate. So there are agencies who can do a complete examination about on the plant producers, whichever you're going to export. So they will do a complete examination and they will give you a certificate. So inspection certificate, quality check certificate, phytosanitary, fumigation certificate, all these certificates has to be taken care by the exporter only. So like the inspection or quality check certificates, these certificates are asked by the importer to check the quality of the goods under international parameters. So in fact, it is necessary for several countries, despite the test being different based on the country or products. To ship agricultural goods from India, the phytosanitary certificate is indispensable. It is not mandatory. So other additional documents include insurance policy. There is mostly there is an exporter exporting product through any mode of transportation, land mode, flight mode, or sea mode, insurance will be taken. So insurance is another important certificate. And especially marine insurance is something more extensive because it ensures the safety coverage of the products shipped overseas. MATS receipt or MATES receipt. MATES receipt confirms the loading of your goods on the shipment and is issued after the same. So once your goods are being loaded on the cargo ship, once it has when it has been loaded from the port area to the ship area, to the deck of the ship, so the MATES receipt is initiated. Then FEMA declaration for exporters, that is Foreign Exchange Management Act. This declaration states that exporter agrees to comply with the principles of the FEMA. Okay, so whatever, there are a set of rules, regulations regarding the insurance, regarding the payment, regarding the responsibility, regarding the ownership, transfer of ownership. There are many, guidelines. So FEMA declaration, so the exporter has to sign the document, that is he is agreeing, she is agreeing to all the regulations imported by the FEMA. Then export order issues after the customs clearance procedure is complete. So when the customs people receive the product into their customs warehouse, bill of entry is issued by them. Once the procedure is completed, export order is issued by them. It also acts as a proof that the necessary formalities and activities have been fulfilled. Now, Export General Manifest, which is called EGM. This is another important document. After the goods are relocated from the exporting country, the manifest is filed by the carrier. Now, who is the carrier here? Either the cargo ship, that is the owners of the cargo ship. We have this MSC, MAS. So these are the carriers, right? So these, if it is a marine transportation, or if the product goes by, through airways, through like any air cargo. So airway bill will be issued by the airport customs department, and this export general manifest will also be issued. Same applies for like road transportation as well. So like many of our neighboring countries or are connected with us like by road. Yeah, say Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. Like all these all these neighboring countries. It is like connected with us through roadways itself. So you don't have to like use any seaways to transport the product. So this documents is applicable, the customs clearance and everything, like it's the same, same procedure as in for the marine export. Incoterms is applicable, especially when your product is going by sea mode of transportation. So it gives a clarity to the customs, to the the carriers about whose responsibility is what in this total consignment. That is, what responsibility the buyer has and what responsibility the shipper has, the seller has. So this, import term, that is the transfer of the responsibility will be mentioned in all the shipping documents. So whomever like goes through this document, whether it's the customs people or whether it's the marine people, that is like the carrier people, or it's the port manager, or if it is the like the crane operator, whoever it is, like inside within the port or in the harbor. So what they do is like once they have they whenever like they see an export documentation with these any of the import term mentioned there, it would be easily understood that which responsibility the buyer has and which responsibility the seller has. Now let's see like one by one. EXW, it means X works. So X works is a scenario where the seller doesn't have any responsibility, doesn't take any responsibility other than making the shipment ready. Okay, so every charge, every like money spent for transportation, for customs clearance, for carriage charges, insurance, and everything is taken care by the buyer. Okay, so here the responsibility of the seller is nothing but arranging the products, arranging the shipment, arranging the consignment at the buyer's preferred location. So next comes the FCA, free carrier. So free carrier here is the seller extends his responsibility or extends their responsibility by taking care of the transportation charges. So from the place of manufacturing, that is from the place of warehouse, the products, the goods has to move to the nearest port, right? Whether it's a seaport, airport, or land port, it has to move to the nearest port. So you have to use any mode of transportation, right? Road mode or train mode of transportation to take the products, move the products to that particular zone. So the transportation charges is borne by the seller. So FCA means free carrier. So for buyer, it's a free carrier because the buyer doesn't have to pay for the transportation charges from seller's location to the nearest port. Then is CPT. CPT is carriage paid to. That is carriage paid to us. So whatever there is the carriage charges, so all the charges is taken care by the seller itself. So the buyer doesn't have to pay for the carriage charges. Then is CIP. So here the seller not only takes care of the carrier charges, but also takes care of the insurance. So here the insurance is being taken by the seller. So on in transit, if something happens to the shipment, something happens to the consignment, so the insurance money will go to the seller, not to the buyer, to the seller, because here on the export document, it is mentioned as CIP. CIP means, so the seller has taken up the insurance for the product. So the seller has paid for insurance and paid for carriage services. Then is DAP, delivery at place. So delivery at places, all the payments, all the responsibilities, like responsibility of making the payments till the product reaches the buyer's destination place. Everything is taken care by the seller itself. So that's called DAP. So in an export documentation, if you see the import term DAP, it means this consignment's total responsibility, the payment responsibility till this consignment reaches the buyer's zone, is everything is taken care by the seller. So what will you understand if DPU is mentioned in the export document? Delivery at place unloaded. Delivery at place unloaded. So the seller takes care of like transportation charges, carriage charges, port charges, crane handling charges, then shipment charges, insurance. Everything is taken care by the seller. And even though the seller takes care of the transportation charges from the destination port till the buyer's place. But not the unloading charges. What is unloading charges? So from the transportation truck, you have to unload the product to the buyer's location, right? It has to be unloaded. So either you have to use any manpower or you have to use any machine power for unloading the product from the transportation truck to the buyer's location, buyer's warehouse or buyer's manufacturing unit or whatever. So these unloading charges, which is to be paid to the like workers or to the laborers or for engaging any machine. There is a forklift machine is engaged for unloading the product, means you have to spend for the machine, right? You have to spend for fuel and everything, driver charges. So that charges is left for the buyer. So the buyer only has a responsibility of paying for the unloading charges plus for the cost of the shipment. So DDP is delivery duty paid. So even in the importer, in the buyer's port also, there will be a customs house, right? Customs warehouse. So we have to pay for customs in two locations. That is the source port plus the destination port. So the delivery duty paid, it is a term where the seller pays for the customs duty as well in the buyer's port location, buyer's port warehouse, customs warehouse. So this is any mode. This is applicable for any mode. XW, EXW, XWorks, FCA, free carrier, CPT, that is carriage paid to, CIP, carriage and insurance, DAP, delivery at place, DPU, delivery at place, unloaded, and DDP, delivery duty paid. So any mode of transportation you take, so this is applicable. But these four import terms are applicable only for the C, water mode of transportation. So what are those? FAS, FOB, CFR, and CIF. So FAS means free alongside ship. That is, the seller takes the responsibility of paying all the charges till the consignment, the goods is kept on the side of the ship. So what is the side of the ship in a port? It's a deck area, right? The dock area. Sorry, not the deck. Dock area. The dock area in the port, right? Or you can say wharf or dock area. So till the products or no goods are placed on the wharf or on the dock area, that is alongside side of the ship, all the charges is taken care by the seller. Then after that, whatever charges no like coming up, that will be taken care by the buyer. The FOB means free on board. That is till the consignment is kept on board the ship, on the deck of the ship. So whatever charges, custom charges, transportation charges, loading charges, unloading charges, crane handling charges, port charges, everything no like is taken care by the seller. Till the consignment is kept on board of the ship, on the deck of the ship, the cargo ship. So the remaining charges, this buyer takes care. Then is the CFR. CFR means cost and freight. So here the seller takes care of, that is, takes the responsibility of paying for cost and freight only. That is a freight charges. Only for the freight charges. The remaining charges, remaining payments are taken care by the buyer. Then is the CIF. So wherever you see I, it means insurance. So CIF. So if this import term is mentioned on the export documentation, it means the seller is taking care of cost of insurance plus freight. Insurance plus freight, everything. Clear? The remaining no like responsibility, the payment thing, that's taken care by the buyer. So by just viewing an export documentation, and if you find any of these import term, you can easily recognize that what are the responsibilities of the buyer of this consignment and what responsibilities do the seller have in this consignment. Clear? Do you have any doubt in this? The import terms? And this import terms, no, it keeps on changing every 10 years. Okay, so there is an organization which controls, no, like moderates and no, like controls all the, the export thing, no, like exporting in the sense all the, no, like the transportation, international transportation, no, like the organization moderates and takes care, especially the marine. Guys, please mute your audio. Guys, mute your audio. Okay. So they keep on making some changes, small changes, not big changes, but small changes. They add a few things, no, as responsibility to either to the buyer or to the seller. So this responsibility, no, thing keeps on changing, and they release the import terms, no. So once in 10 years. So every 10 years, you can see some new, responsibilities included in the import term. Is that clear? Yes. Yeah. No? If it is clear, we can go further.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So we will now quickly go through few terms and terminologies. Okay. I mean, it's not only about the export import thing, but it's about everything related to the inventory. What is inventory? So can any one of you say what is inventory?
Stock available.
Stock available. What is stock?
Like all type of components, including the physical, the raw materials, and the semi-finished goods, finished goods, all come under inventory.
Okay. So all physical components. See, there are no different points of view, about inventory. I think this I had discussed already, in my other session, if I remember. Okay. Let me rephrase it. See, from management's point of view, from the management, the company's management point of view, all the physical components are inventory for them. Okay, whether it's the raw material they have in hold, or the semi-finished material, or the components they have in hold, or the finished goods, which is to be moved out of the, like the manufacturing zone. So that is also inventory. And all the physical components, the table, furniture, office equipments, including the manpower, because everything generates money, right? So all these components, they generate money. So they see all these as a physical component. And in management's point of view, all the physical components are inventory, the office files, stationery, computers, laptop, AC unit, like everything, wiring, everything, windows, the building, the land, everything comes under inventory for them. Okay. In employees' point of view, that is like, imagine like the workers or the laborers in a warehouse or in a manufacturing unit. So in their point of view, um, all types of materials or inventory, whether it's a raw material or a semi-finished product or a work in process inventory, which is under production, which is under manufacturing, work in process inventory, or if it is a finished product. So all these comes under inventory. Whereas stock is mentioned to only those goods which has completed the processing. So only finished goods are called as stock. Raw material is not a stock. Work in process inventory is not a stock. Semi-finished components is not a stock. Only the finished product which doesn't require any further processing, that's called a stock. Whereas inventory, it includes everything, whether it's a raw material, a semi-finished one, work in process, or the finished goods. Everything is inventory. This is the employee, that is no worker's point of view. Okay. So management point of view, every physical component is an inventory because everything generates the profit for the company, including the manpower. For them, manpower is also an inventory. So from worker's point of view, all types of materials are inventory and only the finished products are mentioned as called as stock. Now in accounting concepts, you can't mention, the furniture or the land, office land, or the equipments, or manpower, or the building, or the machinery. You can't mention them as inventory. In accounting terms, like those come under different category. The land, the machinery, the building, everything comes under stock, everything comes under asset. That comes under asset. The furniture, the everything, that comes under, like different category. That comes under furniture. That comes under, like all the other stationaries and that comes under office supplies. So accounting point of view is different. So when you're like documenting the inventory, when you're documenting it in accounting concepts, you have to like categorize them in different, like headings or different criteria. So you have three perspectives. So from management point of view, from employees or the workers point of view, and from the accounting point of view. That is like from the documentation point of view. But generally speaking, the main difference between inventory and stock is the worker's point of view. All the materials, the raw material, the semi-finished material, finished material, plus the work in process material, work in process inventory. Everything comes under inventory. But what do you call a stock? Only the finished product. You can't call a raw material, the raw material as stock. You can't call work in process as a stock. Only the finished product which is ready for sale. So to whom the company makes the sale? There is a manufacturing company, a production company, so or an assembly unit, whatever, to whom they sell the product. Yes, to whom they sell the product. Yeah. Do they sell the product directly to the consumers like you and me? No. Product always, the goods always travels through distribution channels. There are distribution channels, right? Wholesalers, warehouse dealers, distributors, and this market agents, brokerage agents, commission agents. And from wholesalers, the goods, the stock, like it gets moved to retailers. So we purchase from the retailers. We don't purchase normally, consumers like us, we don't purchase from wholesalers. We don't purchase from market agents because we don't purchase in bulk. That's a reason. Wholesalers and distributors and agents, they always deal in bulk products. Retailers deal in semi-bulk, that is no break bulk products. And consumers like us, we deal with unit products. What is unit products? We buy it in like unit quantity, 1, 2, 3, 5 or 10, maximum 10. That's it. We don't buy like more than 10. Any product you take, we don't buy more than that. So we purchase in unit products. Retailers purchase in break bulk, mini bulk. And wholesalers, distributors, they purchase in bulk. And from where the manufacturing units purchase the product, purchase the raw material. From where? Where do they source from? Who supplies them? Yeah. So there is a manufacturing unit, a production unit. So you have to know like input the raw materials and you have to make it as a finished product, right? So where does the raw material come from? Who supplies it? Suppliers. Yeah, suppliers. The suppliers supply it. So for suppliers, these manufacturing units are the customers who resells the product, right? So the manufacturing units process the raw material, converts that into semi-finished or finished products, and they resell to the marketing channels. Wholesalers, distributors, market agents, or the warehouse dealers. They resell to them. So for the manufacturers, these marketing channels are the customers. So these marketing channels and warehouse dealers, for them, who are the customers? Retailers are the customers. Again, the retailers resell the product. Customers are those groups of individuals or agency or a company, whatever, like customer means who resells the product. In most cases, they resell the product, but in few cases, they use it for their own purpose. Whereas consumer, like you and me, we don't resell the product. We use it for our own consumption. We use it for ourselves. That's why we are called as consumers. We are not customers, but we are consumers. Customers are those people, mostly they go for reselling. Only in few cases, they use the product by themselves. Consumers are those individuals who use a product by themselves. Clear? Concept is clear?
Yes.
Inventory, stock concept, the difference and everything. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So these are like many terms here. We have like less time. So what I'll do is, yeah. I'll give you few more information about the documentation thing and the export documentation thing. So when it comes to food products, there are lot of restrictions. Okay, so see, for example, if you're exporting, if your company is exporting, chemical products, chemical related or chemical added or actual chemical products. So you need to have a special certification, special analysis certification for that. And if your products, the products, that is the goods, which your company is exporting is, say, food products, you need to get, 2-3 more certifications. For example, if the products is going to, say, Islamic populated country, like, like Gulf or, like somewhere in Bangladesh. So you need to add, this certificate, halal certificate. But if the food related product is it's being exported to a, this Jewish populated country, you need to add a kosher certificate. Kosher, K-O-S-H-E-R, kosher certificate. So where will you get these certificates? No, from the there are agencies, there are organizations, no, which does a thorough analysis, no, for the companies who are into which are into export. So they have experts. So when you contact that particular organization, if say for example, if your like product is an agricultural product, your company deals with exporting agricultural product, so you have to contact that particular agency or the like the company which does a photo analysis test on your products, on all your agricultural products. Not all the agricultural, but randomly they will select your agricultural, like one or two from your agricultural producers, and they will like do the test. So once they have confirmed there is no harmful fertilizer or harmful chemical or any disease, there are many plant diseases, right? So the producer is not infected by any of the disease. So once that is confirmed, then they will give the certification. In case of like equipments, industrial equipments, or like any kind of equipments, you take any kind of equipments, so you need to have a certificate of inspection. So there are agencies who can come and like do an inspection on the products, that is the goods you're going to export. So randomly they select, they check for the like the sturdity and everything, the volatility and everything, then they give the certificate. Clear? Yes. Yeah. Okay, any doubts? No doubt? Sure? Okay, fine, good. So like, yeah, I will stay here for like 5 more minutes. I think like we still have time. Do we have time or time is up? I'm not sure. I haven't checked the. Yeah, we still have like 5 more minutes. What I'll do is, we will just like go through discuss at least few terms and terminologies. Okay, we still have enough. Started late, right? Yes. Yeah, so let's start with the first one, aggregate inventory management. So this is a process of managing the total quantity of items held in stock across an entire supply chain to optimize total inventory levels and costs. See, there are various methods, uh, followed by, calculated by these, the supply chain companies to have a control over the inventory. If there is no control over the inventory, what happens is, if there is no control over the stock, what happens is either there will be a situation where it is overstocked or out of stock. So there has to be a control because it involves money, right? So if it is overstocked, so the company like buys up raw material in bulk, it is overstock, like excess inventory, it has like procured. But at the same time or after some time, the demand for that particular product, the particular goods, so that has gone down in the market. Then that is a terrible situation because bulk procurement has happened. Still, yet, like a part of the raw material has to be converted to a finished product and then it has to be sold in the market. But even before the production has started, suddenly there is a change in the market. There is a new trend happening in the market and people are like customers are moving to new trend. They don't like the old product anymore, or they have like shifted to buying competitors product because of like various reasons. They have shifted to competitors product. So what happens is all the money invested in like procuring, transporting, storing these inventory and the stock, so that becomes like completely like waste. So the inventory, the stock becomes an obsolete inventory or a dead inventory, the dead stock. Even the dead stock, you can somehow manage and sell. Even though if the demand has come down, it has lowered down in the market, you can give some offers, you can give some discounts, like you can try to sell. Or you can move those dead stock along with like the famously moving product. You attach this to them and give it as a product kit or a product bundle. Even the dead stock, no, you can make it. You can know, like, at least no, you can know avoid no like big loss. But if the product has become, if the inventory or the stock has become obsolete, obsolete means no one uses it anymore. Obsolete product, no one uses it anymore. Typewriters, who's using typewriter now? No one uses it, right? So there is no use of no like a company going for procurement for all the raw materials no required for no like assembling, manufacturing a typewriter. Why should a company no like go for no manufacturing a typewriter, right? So that is the obsolete product because it is nowhere used in the world, nowhere. Almost no every country has no now no like they have gone into digitization. So that's the difference between dead stock on and then obsolete inventory. Okay, so advanced planning and scheduling. So systems that integrate data from across the supply chain to improve the accuracy of planning, scheduling, and manufacturing process. There are various softwares available to streamline the supply chain process, to make the process easier, to track the the product, to track the inventory, to track the stock, and to check no like to investigate, to inspect where it has gone wrong. There are many softwares available. For example, in warehouses you can use WMS, which is a warehouse management system software. That's a general term actually, but there are no like many companies no which like which gives out no like various manufacturing warehouse management system softwares. And if you're in a transportation team, no, like you can use TMS, transportation management system. And if you're in the distribution session, no, like distribution section or distribution company, there is no like Amazon is a distribution, no, like a company. That is e-retailing, they do distribution as well. And you have no like many other e-retails, no, like which does a distribution. They have distribution center. So for streamlining the distribution operation, you can use no like DMS, distribution management system. So wherever you see this word, this term system, it means software. ABC analysis. So a method for categorizing inventory items based on their importance, usually determined by factors such as sales or purchase volume. It helps prioritize inventory management efforts. So what the warehouse like managers or warehouse supervisors or executives or manufacturing, the executives or supervisors in manufacturing units, what they do is to have a control over the inventory, which is like maintained in the that particular zone. So they segregate the inventory into A, B, and C. So A valued inventory or high valued inventory of very high value. It's expensive, little expensive inventory, and it's not frequently bought because you can't take risk by stocking that overstocking that high valued inventory. Again, the reason is if the demand goes down suddenly, so this high value inventory will have no value in the market. So all A category inventory is high valued inventory. So how much you have to maintain? Up to our minimum level, not more than that. So that can be decided by the management. Then B category inventory. B category inventory is a desirable inventory. It is required. It is required, no, like provided it's not, it comes under a nominal cost. It is required. C category inventory or low valued inventory. So even if you buy it in bulk, so doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't get sold, doesn't matter. Because no, it's cheap inventory. It doesn't have no higher value to it. So all those are C category inventory. So ABC analysis is a method for categorizing inventory items based on their importance, usually determined by factors such as sales or purchase volume. It helps prioritize inventory management efforts. So this inventory control, ABC inventory control, is an inventory management approach that prioritizes products based on their classification in the ABC analysis, focusing more resources on the most valuable items. So very relatable to ABC analysis is the VED analysis, VED. VED. So all this A category inventory comes under vital. Vital is V. It is required, but you cannot take risk by overstocking it. Vital. So E is for no like essential. E stands for essential. It is required. So B category inventory, it is required. So we have to make sure neither it is overstocked nor it is no like in a stocked out situation. Then finally D category. D category inventory is the C category. So even if you have no like more units, no more inventory, it doesn't matter because even if it has become an obsolete inventory, it doesn't no like cause any huge loss for the company. So finally, active stock inventory that is readily available for order fulfillment and located in primary picking locations. Okay. So with this, we are no like stopping here. Yeah. So a few questions now I can see. The invoice is same for SEZ, almost the same for any unit, no, like because they get involved in export, right? Yeah, SEZ, no, like all the exporting, no, like the companies, no, it's there. So invoice is the same. Almost no, it is the same. It may depend on the country. It may depend on the company. It may depend on the country. Say, for example, if a foreign company has no like has done a foreign direct investment in India, say IBM has no like a branch in India, so they are no like doing business here and exporting it to US. I mean, other than the software, no, they are doing some business here, manufacturing something here and exporting to US. So it depends on the countries and depends on the the particular countries, no, the requirements, the export document requirements, no. So all these matters. But otherwise, no, like more or less, no, like mostly the invoice is same. So who takes care of product transfer risk? Transporter, buyer, or seller? I didn't get it. Who takes care of products transfer risk? If the insurance is taken care by the seller, then if anything happens to the product, the insurance money is paid to the seller. But if the buyer is taking insurance for the product, and in case of any loss or theft or damage to the product, the insurance money is paid to the buyer. What are the certificates required for glass or electronic item for export the product? For glass item, you don't need any special certification. Okay, so all you have to do is know on the packaging carton, you have to know like mark it as a fragile product. Handle with care, fragile product. Okay, that's it. For electronic item, yes, certificate of inspection is required. Okay, because all these no comes under industrial equipments, all the electronic items. SEZ, Special Economy Zone, GST and VAT is excluded, not for all SEZs. There may be some government subsidies, but not for all SEZs. Yeah? Clear? Any other doubts? Okay, okay. So the remaining, I think almost I have covered everything, but only the terms and terminologies part is left over. So if we could, if we can, get another session, maybe I will try to cover most of the terms and terminologies with related to the supply chain concepts. Okay. So is the company's assets calculated in return on investment? Assets, no, I don't think so, because no, like return on investment, it's on the product, no, like the product thing. So assets, no, like mostly it comes under this depreciation concept. Year by year, no, you have to show the depreciation thing. So like ROE, no, like doesn't come fit here. And Yeah, but this is not related to supply chain. Okay, clear? Yes. Okay. So I'll meet you in the next session. So if we have another one more session, we can know like completely discuss about all the terms and most like whatever terms and terminologies. No, like I know, like I have it in my hand. I will discuss with you, and with that, we will know like have the um, end of the supply chain management concept. Okay, so we will know like go with one another no like a new module or a new topic in some other time. Okay, then. So thank you. Bye. And have a great weekend. I'll meet you in another session. Bye. Bye. Yes.